Welcome to our next lecture. Dear student, in the last lecture we had gone through the algebra of continuous functions. Now, let us go for the important characterization over continuity of function of two variables. This characterization explains or describes us the relation between continuity of function of two variable and with function of one variable. Now, let us go for the statement of that theorem or characterization. Okay, what this statement is or what is the theorem? Theorem says that right, f of x y be a continuous function at AB. F of x y be a continuous function at AB, then f of x b is continuous at x is equal to a, and f of ay is continuous at y is equal to b. This is what we have to learn the characterization or theorem on continuity of function of two variables. What is given here that f of xy be a continuous function at AB. Therefore, proof of this one, let us start with the proof of this theorem. And proof will start from the given things there itself. Okay, what we have? We are given that what is given to us? F of xy is continuous at AB. This is given to us. Therefore, by using the definition of continuity of a function there itself, what you can have, therefore, let me write, therefore, by the definition of continuity, what happens for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that absolute value of f of x comma y minus f of a comma b will be less than epsilon whenever root x minus a square plus y minus b square is less than delta. This is what we have from the definition of continuity. Or you can have here x minus a bracket square plus y minus b bracket square less than delta square. Okay, let me call this as what? A. It's my equation A, or this inequality, let us call it as what? A. Now, what we need to show? This is given to me, f of xy be a continuous function at AB. Now, we need to show that f of xb is continuous at x is equal to a. Similarly, f of ay is continuous at y is equal to b. Now, if you look at this, what here, f of xb and xy means we are considering here y is equal to b and b is a real number. Therefore, y to be considered as a constant. If I am considering y as constant, okay, real constant, then this function automatically f of xy will become as function of only one variable x, and hence this gives me the characterization or relation between continuity of function of two variables and continuity of function of one variable. What is the relation? Okay. Therefore, here I need to show that f of xb is continuous at x is equal to a, and f of ay is continuous at y is equal to b. Let us go one by one. Okay. From this definition, we are going to use this definition again. Okay. Therefore, how to use this definition? This is what we can do here. Now, what happened now? Yes, absolute value of x minus a less than delta. Okay. What this means? This implies that what? Root of x minus a square plus b minus b. Okay, y minus b instead of what? Y, let us take b square. And what is this? This is less than what? Delta. Okay. This, meaning of this one is this one, root of x minus a bracket square plus b minus b bracket square is less than delta. Okay, and if this is there, okay, this is there, and if I am using this one, comparing this with this one, then what happens? When this will happen, then what will be there? This implies f of x. Okay, x b minus f of what happened here? F of xb and ab, okay, is less than epsilon. Okay, I can have absolute value of x minus less than delta. Meaning of it one is root of x minus a square plus b minus b square. This can be written here this way, less than delta. And if I compare this one, okay, x minus a square plus y minus b less than delta, y instead of y take b, then this, whenever this is happening, this will change to f of x b, as here we are considering y is equal to b, therefore here y is equal to b. And what I am getting? X comma b minus f of a comma b less than epsilon. And this shows that what this one? This implies that f of xb is continuous at what? X is equal to, okay. Again, what happened? Again, okay, y minus b less than delta. Okay, what this implies? Yes, how will you write this one? This we can write it as what? Yes, a minus a bracket square plus what? Y minus b square is what? Less than delta. And if I am comparing this with this one, then what this implies? This implies that whenever this is there, what happens? F of, yes, f of, what will happen? A y minus f of a b will be less than epsilon. F of a y minus f of a b is less than epsilon. Means we are considering now here what? X constant, that x is equal to a, and here is what? Y and b. And if this is there, what this implies, or this shows that, what it shows? This shows that f of ay is, yes, continuous at y is equal to b. Okay, and therefore here in this way, what we have shown, considering function of two variables to be continuous at a point, we have shown that function of one variable is also continuous, okay, at x is equal to a and at y is equal to b separately. Okay, now this completes the proof of the given theorem, and now let us go for the problems over this one. Before going to the problem, let us think about the converse of this theorem. Okay, what can I say about the converse of this theorem? Okay, now here the converse is what? The negation of it one. What you have? Note that. What is the note? Note that converse of this theorem is not true. converse of this theorem is not true. What it says that instead of what function of two variables to be continuous, if I am considering function of one variable is continuous, can we say that function of two variables to be continuous at the same point? This is what we need to think about. And here in this case, it is not going to happen always. Sometimes it happens, but not all the time it will happen. Okay, and hence the converse of this theorem is not true. That is what we write. That is a function of one variable. A function of one variable may be continuous, but the function would not be continuous, of all the variables. This is what you have, the general statement. Okay, this is what general statement of what this theorem. I am converse of the theorem. Okay, now let us illustrate this converse part by using example. At least one example you should have to give to justify this converse of the theorem. Okay, this is converse, V-E-R-S-E. Okay, not this one. Well, now let us have an example of it one. Consider a function. Consider a function f of xy is equal to 2xy over x square plus y square. When this is happening, if order per xy not 0 and this is equal to 0 if this order is 0. Well, now let us see what happened to this example. Well, okay. First of all, let us use the concept of limit. Okay, let us use the limit. Okay, concept. Let us use the limit concept. Okay. Now, what happened? Say limit x tends to 0 of f of x 0. Okay. Means what we are doing here, that here in this example f of xy, what we are putting y is equal to 0, as we are considering here y is equal to b, a constant, and therefore y is equal to 0, let us take, and then if I am considering y to be 0, then it will become as a function of one variable. Okay, and if I consider on the other hand x is equal to 0, it will become a function of one variable, say y. Then what happened to that one? Whether they are continuous, okay, that we need to see. Okay, therefore limit x tends to 0, f of x 0 is equal to limit x tends to 0 of x 0. I am in here. If I am putting y to be 0, y is equal to 0. For this one, what you are getting f of here, yes, 0, 0 is what 0, and which is equal to f of 0, right? Similarly, limit y tends to 0 of f of 0 y, what you are getting, this is equal to 0, which is what? F of 0, 0, and hence from this one, okay, this is what? F of 0, 0, which is 0. Limit of this function at y tends to 0 is 0. Limit of this function at what x tends to 0 is 0, and which is equal to value of the given function at 0, 0 point, at 0, 0 point. And therefore, by using what you can have, the continuity of function of what? One variable, what we write here. Therefore, what we can have from these two, what we can write? Therefore, here f of is x0 and f of 0y is what? Continuous at yes 0 0 is continuous at, don't write here in this way, at x is equal to 0 and what? Y is equal to 0 respectively. F of x0 is continuous at x is equal to 0 and f of y0 is continuous at y is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, okay, the second part of the theorem, statement of the theorem, we have justified it one. Now let us go for the first part. Okay. Now, take the part as y is equal to mx. Okay. Therefore, limit x comma y tends to 0 0 of f of xy is equal to limit x comma y tends to 0 0 of f of x comma mx, okay, which is equal to for the limit as we are considering x here, therefore x tends to 0. What is our function? Function is f of 2xy upon x square plus y square. Therefore, it is what? 2x into y. Y is what? mx divided by x square plus m square x square, right? Which is equal to further limit x tends to 0 of what happens? 2m x square divided by x square is common, therefore we can take it outside. What happens? X square 1 plus m square, and this x square cancels with this one, so that what you get? This is independent of x. 2m over 1 plus m square is independent of x, and hence its limit comes out to be 2m over 1 plus m square. That is what? Which, yes, which are this depends on m. And we know that if limit of a function at a point depends on m means what? There are different paths. Okay, here what we do, m not equal to 0. Well, now if I have here different paths, then you can have here the different limits, and therefore we can say that what? Limit of a given function at a given point. Limit of a given function, I mean given function is this one and given point is this one. Therefore, at this point, limit of given function does not exist. And hence, if the limit does not exist, then by the definition of continuity, I mean very fast definition, definition number 1 of continuity of a function, that function is not continuous. And therefore, what we write, this implies, right here, this implies limit x comma y tends to 0 0 of f of xy, yes, does not exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. And if this limit does not exist, this implies by the definition of continuity, what happens here? By the definition of continuity, f of xy is not continuous at 0 0. This is what we can have the example which justifies the converse of the given theorem, that if or even though function of one variable is continuous, this is continuous as we have shown here, continuous at x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 respectively. But if I take or if I check that function of two variables for what? Continuity, then it may not be continuous, and this is what we have the one of the proper example where you can justify or you can have the solution or justification of the given here. Well, now let us go for another example on continuity. Okay, of course, another examples are depending on how to show that given function is one continuous. Well, let me take this as an example. Second one, if f of xy is equal to x upon y, if absolute value of y is greater than or equal to absolute value of x, this is y upon x. If absolute value of x is now greater than or equal to absolute value of y and is equal to 0, if what happens, x, y both are 0. Okay. Now what we need to show that here, show that f of xy is continuous at sorry, not continuous, is discontinuous at is discontinuous at 0, 0. Okay. How will you show this one? We will show this by one. First of all, obtaining the limit. And if limit does not exist, we can say by the definition that given function is one discontinuous. Okay. Therefore, let's go for the solution of this one. Okay. Let me take solution here. Let us write solution. Here we have given that what is given? What is given? F of 0 is what? 0. F of 0, 0 at the origin or at 0, 0, value of the given function is 0. Okay. Now what we do? Take the path. So let us take a very simple path. Y is equal to 2x. Okay. Now instead of this one, you may take another paths also. Only the thing is that whenever you are going to take the paths, here in this particular, for this example, you need to follow or consider the these cases. Okay. Whenever you are going to consider paths, different paths, then either those paths or that particular path will satisfy this condition. If it is not satisfying this condition, it should satisfy this condition. Then and only then the paths will be suitable for this example. Otherwise, we will not get anything for as far as one example. This example is concerned, and therefore, if I take a path y is equal to 2x, then what happens? If I take absolute value of y, then it will be always greater or equal to absolute value of x. Means what? This path is suitable for what? This one. It satisfies the very first condition. And whenever a path satisfies first condition, I mean over this path, I need to consider the definition of function f of x comma y as x upon y. If I choose another path and it will satisfy this condition, then in that case, you need to choose or consider the function f of x comma y as what? Y upon x, and accordingly you will have to move or go for the another one. Instead of this one, you may take another one, what x is equal to y square and so on and so forth. There are different paths, as you know, there are infinitely many paths. Okay. With us, therefore you can choose any one of the path. Okay. Here for the first case and other path for second case. Therefore, let us go for this one. Hence, what happened? Limit x comma y tends to 0, 0 of f of xy. Okay, f of xy is equal to limit. Now we are considering y is equal to 2x. Okay, therefore this will become a function of x. and hence x is equal to 0. F of x 2x, which is equal to limit x tends to what? 0 of f of x 2x. Okay, and this satisfies the first condition, this one, and therefore it is what? X upon 2x, which is nothing but what? Limit that comes up to be half. So that what? Here x cancels with this one, what you are getting 1 half. Okay, well, then next, what happened? Now, okay, take the path. Now take the path as again simple one, x is equal to 3y. Okay, then what happened here? Limit x comma y tends to 0 0 of f of xy, which is equal to, now we are substituting x is equal to 3y, therefore y tends to 0, f of 3y y, which is equal to limit y tends to 0 of, yes, y upon x, therefore y over x is 3y, therefore what happens? Y cancel, what I get 1 by 3, and hence here there are two different limits along two different paths. Okay, even though for only one function. Okay, and hence what we will do here, how to write this one, then let us go for the final conclusion of this example. Yeah. Therefore, there are two different limits, okay, along two different paths. There are two different limits along two different paths, and what this implies? Okay, this implies limit. Okay, x comma y tends to 0 0 of given function f of xy. Okay, does not exist, and therefore by the definition of continuity, what happened? F of xy is not continuous at 0 0. This is what we have. Well, now, okay, now here this example we have shown it one. Similarly, you can go for the another examples of continuity over the point which you are given there. Well, now let us go for one more example where we can use the definition of continuity of a function. Okay. Well, next example, let f of x comma y is equal to x square y square upon root x square by cube upon root x square plus y square. Okay, when x square plus y square not 0 and is equal to 0 if what? xy are 0. Well, now show that what is the problem here? Show that f of xy is continuous at 0